Howdy, howdy to the two people other than me that are going to be watching this over the next 10 years. As you can see, Biddy's having none of my stuff right now, but there's a lot going on here, and she likes to explore things that she's already explored. Much like these horses right here. We got Faith.
Come on, Raji.
And Raji.
Raji Doodle.
And not a horse, but a person behind the horse, Terry. We are
dressed up for the occasion.
We are just outside of Battle Creek, Michigan, which is a good enough name because the last couple weeks I've been very windy and I've been in the tent, and that's a battle in itself. But it worked out. It's a nice sunny day. I would say mind the poo, but hey, I mean, this is a horse's yard and we're just walking in it. So anyways, let's go down here. This right here was covered in a bunch of like weeds and stuff and smaller trees and bigger trees, which me and Terry just took a chainsaw to like not even 15 minutes ago. Yippers. All these little ones right here, they like to scratch up against them or break them down, so they're kind of still everywhere. Yeah. Let's see. I didn't get everything, so let's find a good reference for what I'd be talking about. If I can find them, maybe I did get everything. Alright, like this stuff right here. See all this junk right here? This little bit? Yeah, all this. This whole entire bottom was just about covered in it. And that was a fun little thing, especially when it was wet out. Thankfully, I got some mucks. A little pile. Was about twice that size, but it all dried up, and you know what they say about things being out in the cold, they'll shrink. There's some more stuff. Now, as I said in the last little tour video, I never want to hear anybody say I'm weak ever again, because you weren't here to see me move all of this with nothing more than stubbornness and a load of grunts. Like, look at that, and look at that. If any of y'all want to prove your might, let's go. But the end result is the horsies got a new little playground to run around in for a little bit, but there's still plenty more to show. Oh. There were a bunch of roots from the trees that got knocked over, and they were, you know, kind of stepping on them with their hooves, so got all of them out. There might be one or two stray ones that are like buried in the mud or something. But the ones I did manage to find and pick out are in my little root pile over here. I say little, but they're not really little. Some of them are. It's not the size that matters. Once you get on it, and it's big enough, it might hurt. But, yeah, we go down here. I didn't bother much with any of this. Moving around a couple of things, got some roots out. But this is kind of where it ends. And about a quarter mile down that way, if that, there's a decent sized lake. It's nice, but it cuts into someone's property, and I'm not going to do that. Just show, you know, a little bit of a lake for a couple seconds. But I did take a picture or two of it. I'll eventually throw up in a little slidey show. Oh yeah, the road. Barbed wire. Oh goody, but you know what? When's that ever stopped me? Besides it getting my back. Which has been put to the test. Oh, there we go. Anyways, one of the first little jobs here was getting all these leaves. Well, not all these ones, but there were a bunch more. Out of the way and over here. Like there's a big old pile of them. So I'm moving all the leaves from here over to here. And a couple dudes came down with their big toys. Fresh dirt, smoothed it out. They were just here not too long ago. There's the tracks. Kind of do a little checkup on it after a couple weeks. But, you know, it looks good. Oh man, kind of got the sniffles. I'm not going to apologize for that because it's slightly chilly. Anyways, that's where we just were. It's where all the horses' hay and special hay is. And I'll say special hay because a couple nights ago, I wasn't thinking, which happens often, but I'm also blind as a bat, and I went to go feed the horses, and I'm like, oh, I guess this is special grain or whatever of hay, and I put it in their little bags, took them up on the hill where I usually feed them, and then turns out it was just plain Jane straw, and well, yeah, I could see why the horses were kind of mad at me. It's untight. But, yeah. So we'll go down this little road, circle back in the gate, show you where my little dwelling was. I don't know what the hell is going on there. Something cable, I don't know. Now, whenever I got here, most of these trees were full of leaves. And my first night here, I was so slap happy and crazy, jet lagged, or greyhound lagged, I should say. I thought it was raining. Woke up, there was not a puddle on the ground, and it was all them damn leaves falling, hitting the tent, and it sounded like a downpour. And a downpour it was, but of leaves. Like all of this about a week ago, right there. I raked up, had a couple big piles. You can still see like the little burned doohickeys. Now this right here is a little bit more manageable than barbed wire. So we'll go under and over. The pavement dudes are on their way back, it sounds like. This right here is where lawnmower killer was, the route was, and a couple of visitors came a few weeks ago, and the husband grew very fond of pawpaw trees, and they decided to plant one here. So you dig out the old roots, plant new, and right there's the dirt truck. Little pile. Wait for this thing to go by here. And since we're talking about uprooting old and planting new, I know I usually go on about these things, something I picked up on. And I definitely came to a pretty big and important realization, which is something I always had in the back of my mind for a very long time. I just never cared much for it because I thought there was something going there. But it does have to do with outgrowing where you are and planting roots elsewhere. But I'm not gonna desecrate this little area with my own BS. That right there deserves a video on its own because it requires some thought. People aren't going to be happy, but you poke the bear, it's eventually going to bite back. But anyways, other than that, I'd say, well, before I go on about all that, all this was covered in like stuff. And we cleaned it out. As you know, we got a bunch of dirt right here. There was stuff piled high. And this is all that remains. On top of this roof here are a bunch of these little nuts. Because there are a lot of chipmunks and squirrels and other critters around here. Like Biddy. Still exploring. And right there's the dude in the bulldozer. This thing was fun to move. So were those chimney blocks. The first filler. Oh, well, yeah, bulldozer, just a little bobcat thing. Those things are fun to move around in. But yeah, these were fun to move. This one's 7 high. And down here is 6 high. And this whole entire behind right here was littered and stuff too. And we got it cleaned out. There's a huge bucket of heavy ass lead. And oh yeah. Definitely got my workout in while I was here. And speaking of workouts, look at this thing over here.
Why don't you do a live at 5 and show the folks how you feed the horses?
Oh, okay. We'll feed the horses right after. This thing right here was a pain in the butt because sometimes it wanted to work and sometimes it didn't. But whenever it did work, it did what it was supposed to do. These are fresh ones we just sold up this morning, but I ain't really got the time to split them. But yep, 37-ton log splitter. That thing right here, it didn't really want to work. I'm not very mechanically inclined. Thankfully, a neighbor kind of tinkered with it, and you know, we got it to go, but you gotta leave the choke like halfway open for it to even go. This little thing, you can't go no further than halfway because once it gets to the rabbit, a 37-ton log splitter might as well be a limb splitter. And right here is my second skin. They were fresh and, well, they're definitely used. Well, you know how it goes. You put your finger in and you wear it out. Anyways, horses. These are the said bags. Oh, they got hay in them, not sure. Oh, go up here. Yeah, I'm coming. Oh. Oh, fix my britches. Forgot to put on a belt this morning. Excuse me, pardon me. Hi, how you doing? Come on. Alrighty, one goes here. And the other one goes over here. And that's it. They're on the opposite side of being young, but they're definitely overgrown puppies, that is for sure. Now that we're up here, I'll show you my little spot I dug out. Now, over here where the horses are, that was, I guess, a popular spot for people to usually come here. But me being me, I never followed the norm. And I'm like, oh, this is a nice little spot with the trees and the spots. So I took a rake. And, yeah, there was a tent here. And surprisingly, the tent withstood the, wind and the rain, and me. And I'll give credit where it's due, besides the zipper being a pain in the behind. It was a good little tent. There was a nice view. I did have a chair somewhere, like right here. I'd sit here and just chill whenever the wind wasn't blowing. From here, you can see all the like little lakeside houses and a little bit of the lake. Probably not through his phone, but you can definitely see it from here. And it is very reminiscent of down there in good old KY. But there ain't giant mountains in front of you, and you can see vehicles and their headlights just basically eye level from where I'm at right now. So, yeah, it is kind of off-putting, but it does make for a good vista in the morning and night. There ain't much, nothing going on here. It's just a big old playground for the horses, the dogs, and the cats. There's one over there standing on the slab. But yeah, back to my lesson I was going on about a couple minutes ago before the little bobcat thing showed up. You know, I'll admit that I was really hoping I'd be closer to town and I can go ahead and explore better opportunities, or can't say better, explore opportunities there. Because a large part of the reason I do what I do is, you know, once you exhaust one location and its resources, you got to get on the move and find something else. And I noticed some people, that's a foreign concept because they're pretty comfortable resting on their laurels. But that was never me, and it's never going to be me. I want to settle on my own terms. Do something that I'm comfortable with, that I'm good with. And that'll be that. So whenever I got back up here to Michigan, it isn't, you know, Traverse City area, which is real nice, but it's still, you know, Michigan. And I was like, oh, Battle Creek, it seems like a, you know, little town to be going to. Never made it there once. But you gotta make the best of what you got and work with what you got and play with the hand that you are dealt. And, you know, me and Terry there was some miscommunications at first. Not that it was, bad. But different backgrounds, different locations, different everything. But once you hit that common ground, it ain't all that bad. This is a little red shed. Oh, yep, horse tracks everywhere. That I put a lot of stuff in. I'll point out the heaviest thing of lead. I did have it up around front where we were moving all that stuff. Took it all the way around the wheelbarrow with all these horse tracks mudded and caked in here. The barrel stopped right about there. So I had to carry most of it all the way across this, which is way harder than it seems. Move a lot of this in here. And the thing of lead is right there. Yeah, that was fun. Once again, my strength was definitely put to use and to the test here. But that's another thing that goes hand in hand with first realization in this little lesson here. People will appreciate what you have to offer if you're able to use it. And I like helping people. There's people hundreds of miles away from this very location that are benefiting from me, giving them a helping hand in way I can. Within their guidelines, of course. And do I get paid for it? Very rarely. But if you base your whole entire livelihood around the wallet, you're not really living, man. And you're not. You're not living if you're looking to buy. Like, what is it Howard Stark said? A single dollar never bought a moment of time, or something like, no amount of money ever bought a moment of time. Something like that. I don't know. It's been a while since I watched Endgame. To me, that's where the MCU ended. But it's true. And there's people that will never understand why I do what I do. Because I'm not doing what most normal people would do. But I come to these places, make connections, explore the world, do what I'm good for, or what I'm good at. And if the opportunity comes for me to rest my laurels, replant my roots, then cool. Too many people nowadays are ignorant to risk, and they'd rather play it safe. I've broken bones and everything. I went on about it in my last one. I'm not going to go on about it again. But I had to make the best of what was available here, even though it wasn't what I was expecting nor wanting. And then in the end, it worked out. You got to overcome your hurdles. And be proud of it. Because some people are too afraid to even give it a thought. But this is all bark right here from all the logs that we were splitting. And as I go back up around front, I'll show you in the shed around where we clean all the wood we split. And these are all the little nuts that were up on the roof. Oh! But yeah, that's about it for my little insightful rant. Basically, in a nutshell, you gotta be smart with not even smart. You gotta know what you're capable of. Welcome wherever you're at. But you gotta be capable of whatever hand that you're dealt. And these hands still got dirt under the fingernails. And I'm glad that they are there. As we circle back around to the stalls, go through, muddy waters. Oh, yeah. But yeah, Oh snap, about slipped on some poop. That would have been bad. But yeah, I don't even think that she gave this place a name like the last one. It's just home. And sometimes home is where the heart is. And sometimes home is what you make of it. And sometimes home is wherever the wind blows. And a lifelong drifter like me, sometimes that wind stops blowing and you settle for a minute. And then sometimes the wind gets going again and you can't plant your roots in dirty soil. Despite what I just said about making the best of it. Well, you ever try to grow a seed where it's not supposed to be? You gotta remove that seed and find a good location for it, proper support, and watch it grow and flourish. And then, after a while, you'll have some shade, you'll have some wood. It could be anything, a fruit even. You know, plant yourself a nice little apple tree. It'll reward you, but you gotta care for it, you gotta tend to it. But you can't grow it in concrete. You can't just leave it there to fend for itself. You just can't be doing that, man. And there's times I feel like that apple tree. But we'll end this video with our little wood pile. There's a thing that we forgot to burn. Probably mentioned that already. Getting kind of anxious about being out on the road. That's the one thing that gets me about these trips. Is don't know who you're gonna run across on the ground. Whenever I get to my supposed home, Metal Ox Ranch, I think is what it was on the website. Yeah, Metal Ox Ranch, now I'm thinking about it. Never asked why it was called Metal Ox Ranch. Just rolled with it. But right here we go. There's a little bit in here, maybe about yay much in the back. And all this is just a mixture of cherry, walnut, oak. A little bit of everything. And this smells really good. If you have smell-o-vision, I suggest you focus it on the wood here. And not on me, because I haven't showered. And I need to. Oh hell, we got 2 minutes. Might as well stretch it before it gets to a half hour. Oh yeah, the tent had little burn marks from the leaves. Yeah. Yep, that thing right there. Yeah. Cheerio. And you know what? We seen that one cat. We gotta find cat. They usually hang up in here. I'm not ending this video until we see cat. Especially my little buddy. Oh. Ow. Now this is a place Ray would have fun in. No kitties. But I'll do a slideshow of all the pictures I've taken. There's some cats and dogs and horses. There's coyotes all over the place here too, and they're loud as hell. Except when the wind's blowing. Because the wind's louder. Yep. good people. Bonus seed. Found the kitty I was looking for. And she's gone. But you know what? A little cameo is better than none.
Baby cat.
Aw. Miss you, buddy. Alright, there we go. Trip done. Bonus scene number 2. This is another one of my little buddies. Different location though. We are at Terry's parents' farm. We got a horse over there. He's an old timer, but he's got a youthful heart. And other one way over there. I don't know if you can see her. I know this thing can zoom in, but I'm not going to do that right now. There's Biddy doing Biddy things. And here's the kitty doing kitty things. Oh yeah, all kind of critters around here.
You're critter lovers.
Let's go say hey to this guy. He's wanting his lunch, that's what it is. And don't worry, dude, you'll get it. You want to end this for us? Oh, if I could spend the rest of my days hanging out with you and you, that'd be awesome. But yeah, that's it, people. Now that my face is on camera, you have to turn it off. Ciao.